a very good evening, viewers. You're watching Newsx and I'm Kriti Mehta. Our focus this half hour stays on the Pune murder case. What was initially being seen as a tragic trekking accident as Pune's historic Lohagad Fort turned into a murder investigation after one unusual detail caught the attention of police. A man wearing a hoodie on a warm 33 degrees Celsius day in June. A CCTV camera installed near the fort's ticket counter captured the hooded man, later identified as Chetan Chaudhary, following 26-year-old Pune businessman Ketan Agarwal and his fiancée, 20-year-old Sia Goyal, on June 18. Just hours later, Ketan was dead. The footage soon emerged as a crucial lead. The man's concealed face, unusual clothing, and suspicious movements prompted investigators to take a closer look at what had initially been registered as an accidental death. Their suspicions deepened when they discovered that Chetan had left his phone behind at his workplace on the day of Ketan's death and had switched off its internet services. Piece by piece, investigators began reconstructing what they believe happened that day. According to investigators, Chetan was not visibly part of Sia's group when they arrived at Lohagad Fort on June 18. Police said he had left his phone at his shop to avoid location tracking and carried on employee's phone instead. Chetan's internet connection also remained switched off from 7 a.m. to 5:40 p.m., a detail that further heightened police suspicion. As part of the probe, police questioned all those who made incoming calls to Chetan's number on the day of incident. According to investigators, the callers confirmed that Chetan himself did not answer those calls. His shop workers responded instead. When Sia's group reached a spot on the fort where the gorge dropped sharply, investigators alleged Chetan joined them from behind. Ketan fell nearly 400 feet and died at the bottom of the gorge. Sia then called Lonavala Rural Police and said her fiancé had slipped while taking photographs near the valley. She cited strong winds and described it as an accident. Police registered an accidental death report. On June 19, rescue teams recovered Ketan's body after a difficult operation in rugged terrain. He was declared dead at a hospital. After the CCTV footage, police expanded the probe and analyzed technical evidence, including call detail records and digital communication data. And according to investigators, Sia's call records revealed extensive communication with Chetan. Police claimed the motive appeared to be Sia's relationship with Chetan. Police said Ketan and Sia had got engaged in February and was scheduled to have a grand wedding in Udaipur in November, with a palace venue booked for the ceremony. According to investigators, Sia had taken Ketan to Lohagad on May 31 and again wanted to visit on June 4, but his mother stopped him. Police claimed that on June 14, Sia allegedly attempted to push Ketan from the cliff, but he managed to hold on to a bush. When Ketan questioned what had happened, she allegedly raised an alarm about a snake and presented the incident as if she had saved him. Investigators said the plan was allegedly executed on June 18. Investigators ultimately concluded that Ketan's death was not accident but part of a planned killing allegedly carried out by Sia and her lover Chetan Chaudhary. Now, joining me for a broader discussion on this is former Delhi Police DCP Mr. L.N. Rao. I have Dr. Mohit Sharma, who is a psychiatrist, and Ashwini Kumar Dubey, who is an advocate practicing at the Supreme Court, and social activist Shireen is also joining us on this. Thank you very much to you all for joining us. I would in fact want to start with Pooja Sareen, who is there with us here. Pooja, you know, there are incidents of honor killing where people kill members of their family to save the honor. Here we are seeing Shweta once again, to prevent family from getting disrespected, has decided to kill her fiancé. How different are those cases of honor killing from this case where, to save the family's repute, she has resorted to the murder of her fiancé? Shireen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Please.
Yes, so basically, the problem in this type of situation or the matters which see lately, which is happening in our country, the problem is that women are still being pushed towards such marriages which are particularly falling under arranged marriage. So I think so the whole idea of arranged marriage is flawed. And this is the sole reason that such things are happening because the family pressure, which is getting built on females, it actually leads them to not, come upfront, renew their affairs. And for instance, there is a claim from the member of Ketan's family that they were knowing about the affair already. So I would say that Indian families should stop paying, sort of pressure on the girl child to go into arranged marriage setup. So that's what I feel. And yes, I mean, your question is that how come, there's a shift from honor killing to such killings. So I would not hold accountable any of, the parties, either the, or like go into genders. So it's not a gender thing, it's actually the system which Indian families have built on. So since ages, we have seen that, females are pushed by the families, that, it's seen as a system of like business deals. So I think so marriage, there should be a shift in marriage now, and I think so there should be a freedom of choice.
All right, but there is no evidence in this case that it was not marriage at free will. They had been in a relationship. She'd expressed her love for him on different social media platforms. On Instagram, there are videos. There again, she has put out a video message grieving his death, one that she had plotted. Mr. Dubey, I want to come to you now. How crucial are the call records going to be, and what kind of punishment are we now looking at for the duo?
If it is proved and it is a case of murder, then definitely the life imprisonment. And if it is proved that it is one of the rarest of the rare crime, then of course the execution. The question which you asked is very important here. Why one to the other? The girls, the women killing their husband, their paramour boyfriends, or the extramarital affairs, or recent cases which you have seen, Meerut case we have seen Sonam Raghuvanshi case, many cases we have seen. It's on either side. It's not the values in India which is inculcated is much, much, much better than any other country. We live in a country where cultural ethos, values, cultures prevail. We live in a country where the husband's parents and the women's mother, the wife's parents are considered as mother and father. So it's not that the Indian families are losing values or there is force. India has always been a guiding force throughout the world. See, the many foreign women, the cross-border women want to marry in India. We have seen it is one or two case cannot decide that there is loophole in the Indian cultural system. There is a loophole that the one should be given free hand to choose the partner. This is already here. Law already support that one girl or boy can choose his or her partner if he doesn't. It's an unfortunate incident. The motive, I don't know what is the motive. As of now, the motive is that she was loving somebody. It will come at a later stage when the investigation will complete. One of the finest officer, former police officer is here. The investigation would reveal it. But larger question is, if you love somebody, your family is not getting ready to get married, you go to the court. Court would support you. There is already marriage officers under the Marriage Registration Act. If marriage is between two Hindus, you go and get registered as a Marriage Registration Act. If it is the interreligious marriage, go under the special marriage. Nobody is preventing it. Taking law in the hand is of course a question of worry where the psychologist must play a role, number one. Number two, the family values. When we nurture a child, we nurture in a way that when somebody else, because it's marriage is a sacrosanct and sanskar in our country. And if it is so, right to marry is a right. But right to exit is not. You have to go to the court. And there are many laws which favor women. But despite that, taking this step shows that there was emotional imbalance for that. Parents must understand this child's psychological behavior. If it is asked that whether you intend to marry that boy, and if you say no, then they must look into why, what is the reason. Must get married, arrange the marriage with the boy which she loves. Here it's not the case. Having an affair, then going out with the fiancé, then plotting a murder is of course something driving behind. So it's a premeditated attempt. And let's say the call records would definitely show, because CCTV footage is one of the crucial evidence which would establish that the girl has pushed the boy. So it's enough to establish the murder, circumstantial evidence beyond doubt. The moot question is something else, that why this is happening.
Yeah.
The parents.
So, psychiatrist Dr. Sharma is also there with us. Why don't you answer all these questions, that are now coming up on the psychology? Now, Sia here was only 20 years of age. A marriage was fixed, and I don't know if by November she was going to turn 21. But let's say even if she is getting married at 21, do you think a woman or a man is prepared in today's social status or in society, social norms, for them to get married?
At one place we see many girls at the age of even one court, Supreme Court has seen that 13-year-old or even 13 or 14-year-old girl has been abducted by a man, and the man has been charged as a rape initially, but Supreme Court has later on given that permission to or nullify the punishment, because that girl wants to be with him only, and she said that I have chosen that person. So age, what to be determined is always a debatable, but we should also see that neuroscience says that prefrontal cortex, the area that is responsible for judgment, planning or impulse control, that actually develops around 20s. So, but it doesn't. After 18 years, we should start preparing the generation that what type of decision one should take for the marriages, for other aspects, and more than that, what I can see in this that what is hidden is more troublesome. That person has taken decision. It is not that it is any premature decision that a person has taken. That person has taken very well planned manner decision. That person had a very already has some relationship that is hidden to the society, which may cause may make her to take such decisions that eliminating a person is more beneficial for her rather than taking a legal or separation from that engagement, or it may cause some trouble to the family that if I go say no to the this person. But elimination seems as very easier thing. That is more concerning to me.
All right, in this case, can you help us understand what exactly would have been the psychology of Sia Goyal here? She was 20, she was engaged to get married in November, she was showing the world she is very happy with the marriage, she was posting pictures showing her love for Ketan, and then having a relationship allegedly with this colleague, Chetan Chaudhary. Why could she have not just told anybody that the relationship she was publicly in was not suiting her or was not to her personal choice, and then ended that and done things in the way that any other normal person would do? What is the psychology of the accused here?
See, yes, definitely in such scenario where we should be, we are just seeing what that person is showing behavior to the world. But what actually going on inside her, we cannot see. Even maybe the family members, the very immediate family members may not able to see that thing. and that person may be concealing that because she was very damn sure that family is not going to convince for this, and she wants that to happen only with the family consent. There might be some pressure. That definitely it's a very it needs to be investigated. But she has made very sophisticatedly very elaborated plans, where what to do, how to conceal things, how to do what risk she has taken. So emotional attachment with that person is too huge, which she doesn't want to. Neither she want to detach from that emotional attachment. Neither she wants to get a bad name from the society, from the family, that she's running away or eloping. So she has taken such decision not out of because of any mental illness. It is interpersonal conflict. Her personality, her what was going on inside her, the conflicts going on inside her, that caused her to take such a decision.
Right. Finally, I'll come to you, Mr. Rao. We've spoken about this in the morning as well. This case coming in, after we've seen previous such incidents in Meerut and Meghalaya. What's different here is that all these three people were coming from very well-to-do families. They were probably slightly above the average middle class. The income that they get, this family of Ketan Agarwal was doing even better than an average middle class, probably in the upper middle class category they belonged, and I believe so did Sia. How do you see this affecting this case? What is the differentiating factor when you see other such cases and compare those with this one?
Good evening, Preeti, and to my co-panelists and to all your viewers. Again, this is I must say, it's a very good investigation done by the police, because initially it was a case of accident. It was considered to be the case of accident. Incident was that he fell down from height to the gorge, and later on, this case has been turned into a case of murder. And that I appreciate the efforts made by the investigating officers to work out this blind case. I must say it's a blind case because Sia pretending that she was definitely in love with the deceased Ketan, but in fact she was in love with Chetan Chaudhary, and that was the main motive behind it. In this case, I think the motive, when it will be established, that triangle love affair in this matter, whole case. But I must tell you, this case is different than it. After a prolonged investigation, it has been worked out as a murder case. And in the initial case of that Meghalaya police, which investigated that case of Raghuvanshi, that was it was investigated, and that lead was from the initial. There was the lead, and in some other cases also the lead was from the very beginning. But in this case, the lead of the evidences was disguised, you can say. Earlier it was pretended to be because Sia itself herself has pretended that this Ketan has fallen from the height, and that's why he died in that case. But later on, because of I think I had asked a question about the call detail records from Mr. Aswini Dubedi, who is a very learned lawyer in Supreme Court of India. Definitely the call record, CDR, which we can in short call detail records, they are very helpful in the investigation, and because of that call detail records, the police could definitely come to the conclusion that it was not a simple accident case, fallen from the height, but it was, in fact, it was a murder case, because during the past 1 year, I think 1 year, the Sia was in touch with Chetan Chaudhary about, I think they talked about more than 300 hours, and at that odd hours, that analysis of the CDR definitely makes it very clear that it was a case of affairs, personal affairs it was there, and I think that because of that reason, she was in love with Chetan Chaudhary, and she was not wanted to marry with Chetan, but to make it understand to the public or to the police that it is a case of accident. She pretended that that's why she was pretending that she is very much in sorrow because of death of Chetan, and then but in fact from in her heart, because it was planned by both of them, Sia and Chetan Chaudhary, and then it was a pre-planned murder case, and then investigation will reveal, after getting all the evidences collected about this case, recreation of scene, and so many other scientific evidences also, because in new law BNSS there is scientific evidences has more and more value about the investigation, and they will prove in court if these evidence are very much tightly made by the police, and during investigation the charge sheet is filed as soon as possible after that, having all the possible evidences against both these persons. Otherwise, in such type of cases, there are very good chances of acquittal, because there is no eyewitness in that case. Only we will be giving the evidence only as per the circumstances. It will be only a circumstantial evidence, and because of there is no direct evidence in this case, no eyewitness is there. But how much efforts are being made by the police to prove those circumstantial evidence as a very crucial evidence to nail both the accused persons, to prove that they were in criminal conspiracy between both of them, and that was the reason of this murder case of Kedar.
Right, Mr. Dubey, I want to come to you for a final question here. Like even Mr. Rao was talking about here, there's a very high chance of acquittal in such cases. How likely is it that Sia would probably seek a bail, get a bail? You know, she's granted a bail in some months, even if she's convicted.
There are different parameters for granting bail by the court. One, if the trial is taking too much time. Two, you cannot keep somebody in long incarceration, and facing trial itself in a case which has not been proved amounts to giving punishment. So courts make a balance. Courts see that whether if that person is released on bail will create any obstacle in the society. Number two, nature of the offense. Number three, whether that person will again create or commit such an offense or any other heinous offense. Four, is he or she is a danger to the society. And five, whether the trial is likely to complete early or it will take time. So bail is a different parameters, and we know the Justice Krishna Iyer's famous quote that the bail is a rule, jail is an exception. Here, the moot question is the societal impact. Cases like this, alongside other recent contract killings, if you see, have raised the debate. What debates? About the state of morality, the pressures of arranged upcoming marriages, and a perceived disregard for human life. You have a right not to get married, just in order to show that your family should not suffer. If it is true, which is we are reading from the social media social media university, that because of she does not want to put her family into the that they should not suffer because of me and all. Here the question is, if you have decided somebody to get married, you should straight away go to the court. Courts and law and police always support you. The extreme length to which the Sia went to avoid calling of an engagement have left both the investigating authorities and public grappling with questions about modern relationship, ethics and societal priorities. You see, these cases have raised a deep societal concern about trust, deceit and lance individual go to escape familial or social obligations. Question is this, why this has happened? Even previously, on June 14, the investigation revealed that the failed attempt was also made on that day.
Yes.
Where Sia allegedly tried to push Ketan, but he managed to save himself, after which she claimed she was trying to save him from a snake. So what is the question? Question is that we must start nurturing and educating our children about the law, number one. Number two, if he or she wishes to marry with somebody, And if they find that marriage is not due to coercion, marriage is not because of somebody is alluring and their clear state of mind, they must go and get married and instead of taking law in their hands. That is how we can say that we live in a country where rule of law is prevalent, not the law of ruler. Otherwise, everybody will come, you will not like, you will go and will kill.
Yeah.
What will happen? Young person will be behind the jail sooner or later. Tomorrow, after 10 years, supposedly, if she is discharged from this liability, but at least 10 best years will go in fighting a legal battle. That's what. Over to you.
Right. Thank you very much to everybody, gentlemen and Shireen, for joining us in this discussion. We'll slip into a very quick break. Viewers, stay tuned.